Hey now, cats, we're back again this week on the Balls from Ellwood show. We have so much to talk about, so much to get to. We have a great interview. We have so much to get out. Let's just dive, hit the ground running. Xtina, what do you say?
Whew, I don't know, man. It's been a wild time in our lives, that's all I gotta say.
How's the apocalypse treating you?
It's, well, starting to get a little janky there, but, we're getting there. We're getting there, slowly but surely.
I mean, other than idiots licking plane seats, idiots licking toilet seats for challenges, people coughing on meat, well, I mean...
Yeah, what is wrong with people? Don't they know we're in, the middle of a pandemic? And they seriously are gonna lick toilet seats and spit on vegetables, and some lady coughed on all kind of meat at a grocery store in Scranton, PA, and they had to throw away $35,000 worth of meat. Is that, funny to you? I mean, luckily they're giving these people felonies. They're arresting them with, what do they call that? Terroristic threats.
Absolutely.
Which I think is great.
I think they're getting off easy. I think in this day and age, you need a good pop, pop, pop right in the back of the head if you're going to be... What could you possibly get as a human being out of doing that to somebody?
I think they just think it's funny, I guess.
If this is the set, can we live in a time where comedians can't tell jokes, but these fuckers think this shit's funny?
Right.
That's not the kind of fucking humor I'm about, for sure.
What a world.
So, I mean, that being said, enough of the negativity. Let's be positive. We actually have somebody today. We have a very special birthday. We're actually going to try to include you cats. We're going to call our good buddy Tan Mom. You might know her as Patricia Krenzel. She's free to be Patricia Marie. We're going to try to wish her a happy birthday. So what do you say, cats?
Okay, let's try.
Let's see if we can get her on the old horn here. And I'm gonna sing, and that should be funny in and of itself.
Sure. Might be past her bedtime. She goes to bed kind of early.
I hope we don't wake her up. I feel bad though. I don't want to wake her up, but I surely didn't want to miss saying happy birthday either.
Alright, Patricia, please leave a message after the beep. At the tone, please record your message.
I'm still gonna sing.
When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Happy birthday to you!
Happy birthday to you!
Happy birthday, dear Patricia! Happy birthday to you! Cha-cha-cha! This is Balls and Xtina wishing you a very happy birthday. Call us when you have a chance. We love you. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Yep.
Well, can't say we didn't try, so...
That's right.
All right. And in other news, cats, before we move on to our next topic, I'd also like to remind everybody that April 24th is the wait is over. Joe Bob is back in town. The last drive-in season 2 on Shudder is coming to it. Don't miss it, cats. I've been waiting. They finally announced. I'm just beside myself. But anyway, I want to get into Xtina. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, thank you, Netflix, for joining everybody and entertaining everybody during this quarantine with this wacko named Joe Exotic. The show, we've been super engulfed. It's #1 on Netflix for I don't know how many weeks now. Everybody is enamored with this nut. What's it called? Is it Tiger
King.
Tiger King.
Tiger King on Netflix. It's what, 7-episode series?
Yeah, 7-episode series. You had heard a podcast before.
I listened to this podcast called Over My Dead Body, and they did 2 seasons, and the first season had nothing to do with this, but the second season was called Joe Exotic. So I was like, alright, some tiger guy, whatever, I guess I'll give it a listen. And it was one of the things where I'm like, I don't really want to listen to this, but I can't stop. So I guess I'll keep going. And, so I wasn't even sure I'd want to watch the show, because I already know the story. But I was like, well, I'm going to make Balls watch it, because, it's a must-see, whether you want to or not. You might make this face the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
But, it's worth it. And the TV show, they did a fabulous job. I don't know who this guy was and why he was following them around for so long. Joe wanted to be famous. He was trying to do his own YouTube channel, like maybe, some other people.
I don't know anybody like that.
I don't know. But anyway, So he was, I mean, he was off his rocker, though. We'd like to think we're a little more normal than Joe, maybe just by that much. But anyway, and I have a tiger here, too. I guess I'm the tiger queen. Would you like to say hi? Anyway, yeah, so dude is off his rocker. You just gotta watch it. I mean, it's nothing you can even explain to people, because it's just like, okay, well, this happens and this happens. Oh, okay. But then this happens, and it's like, wait, what? So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Balls here did a lot of other research and found out some other
I mean,
facts.
I got so enamored with this story. It's just like, you watch a train wreck and you're like, well, there's no way that these events could possibly get bad or any worse, and then they do. And then you're like, well, this is definitely like the craziest thing I ever heard. There's no way it could escalate farther than that. And then it does. And then it just, by far one of the most engaging things I've seen this year. It's very, you don't unsee it. Like, you think about it afterwards, it just kind of like buries itself in your brain like a knife, and it just won't dig its way out. But anyway, I in my research I came across, there's a guy named Robert Moore. I actually am trying to get him on the show. I would love to have him. I sent him a thing. I haven't heard back yet. But he did a podcast for a magazine article, and he interviewed and studied these people for 4 years. He actually lived for a week at the zoo. And he has all these different, like trivia facts. So if you'd actually seen the show, I thought these were really interesting. I want to share them with you guys. If you haven't seen it yet, you might not want to check this out. Spoiler alert, you might want to wait until after you see the show.
Skip through like a couple minutes.
In fact, you skip this now, go check it out, and then come back and check these out. But I thought these were really, really fascinating. And they're like, they're like a drop in the bucket, man. This dude has so much information about everybody. But these were like, I just wanted to give you a couple. I'll give you 15, but there's like, honestly, you could get lost in there. This dude has so much stuff. He's a plethora of knowledge about these people. It's why hopefully I can snag him on there. If you're listening, you need to come on the show, buddy. Robert Moore, thank you. But number one, I thought this was really interesting. And you kind of could tell, like, I had my reservations. Every time they'd show Joe Exotic singing his fucking asshole shitty country music bullshit, you could just tell it wasn't him.
It was very Milli Vanilli-ish.
Yeah, it's easily one of my favorite parts of the series. I was pissed my pants watching it. But, like, no big surprise here. He did not write or sing any of these country songs. They actually outed him. It was an outfit called the Clinton Johnson Band. And he just sang softly over top of the vocal track, "What's a Man Got to Do?" So, like, he's not technically lying. He did sing in it, but he didn't sing the songs.
He didn't even write them?
No.
But he went to these people and said, hey, write a bunch of crazy songs about my tigers?
Yes.
Okay.
And I can sing over top of it to kind of make them think that I'm singing it. So that got out, and I thought that was interesting, which it wasn't a big surprise to me, because if you see those videos, they're just so fucking ridiculous. But, two, this is really weird. When the cats would die in the zoo, he would sell them to the Strange Bone Museum in Oklahoma City. And then from there, they would get sold to other places, but nobody really knows for sure, or for what. I thought that was a little weird. Strange. Three, you always wonder why he's such an eccentric and stuff, and why he is the way he is. I didn't really touch on this in the series, but I did find out he was in fact a victim of sex abuse as a very young kid. So now that makes a lot of sense now.
Yes.
So, and he actually, they say he constructed an ego around himself. So it's kind of like a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
So where he's the king of the castle, he's in total control, and he can never be hurt again.
Makes
so
total sense, yeah.
But that doesn't excuse the shit he did either, though.
No.
So,
not at all.
next one, Travis, his third of a husband, the meth head, the one that has like two choppers. Mm-hmm. This is kind of sad. I mean, you look at that dude and you're like, drugs. Mm-hmm. But just to put some perspective on that dude, he's kind of a sympathetic character too.
Yeah.
He was a meth head whenever Joe preyed upon him.
Right.
But what a lot of people don't know was his mom was a meth head when he left. That's one of the reasons he left. And then he fell right victim into the trap all over again with Joe Exotic. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Also, at the end, me and you, remember, I was like, man, I'd love to know what happened to that Doc Antle because they raided his place and they didn't say nothing about it.
Right.
Actually, this is why. The reason why they don't go into any specifics at the end of the documentary with Doc Antle when he got his place raided is because it's still part of an ongoing investigation.
Ooh, good.
So I thought that was, that could be, keep an eye out for that, could be interesting. So.
Right. Yeah, all these wackos need investigated. I mean, at least the ones who own the zoo.
Oh yeah, the good thing that actually came out of all this is he's going to probably shut down a lot of people that need to be shut down as well. So I mean, if there's one good thing out of that, I mean, and that's the thing too, man. How do you look at him? Is he a sympathetic character? Is he a bad person? Is he a nut or what? I mean,
which one?
That's Joe Exotic. What do you think of him?
I don't like him.
I don't like him either, but there's parts of me that kind of is a little sympathetic.
I was for like a second, and then I saw all of his narcissistic manipulation.
Yeah, but then I look at it like how he became the way he came. But I mean, it doesn't excuse it, but I sort of am like,
Yeah.
You know, I get it. But I mean, I think it's funny that everyone in this whole entire fucking world piled on top of him and let him take the fall when shit got fucking thick. So I mean, I think that's maybe why I feel a little bit that way.
Maybe.
Yeah. All them other ones, I don't really. They're all just, every single person in this documentary is a deplorable human being. So it's like saying, hey, is he poop or diarrhea? They're all fucking shitheads. So I mean, that's what I mean. I don't think anybody.
Except for the kids. I think, Travis and that John and
the
other new husband, which these are like, I mean, other than the missing teeth, if they weren't on meth, they would perhaps be decent looking people. I mean, I just don't understand, like, what goes so wrong in your life. You're a young boy, and you go and hook up with Joe Exotic, and you're supposedly not even gay.
That's the thing I thought was so funny out of all these. I'm not gay, but I'm going to fucking marry him and blow him and fuck him, but I'm surely not gay.
Yeah, that's very strange. I mean, I like money, too, but, like, I have my limits on what I do
don't like
for
money.
And
I don't like
money that much.
I don't like money enough for dude to brick in my mouth. That's just not going to happen. So,
right. I mean, I don't get it. But anyway.
Here's one that is absolutely horrifying to me. The reason you've seen, like, the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, is anybody in this, like, have a full body? There's always, like, motherfuckers with legs with missing and arms missing and shit.
No, nobody has a full body.
Nobody has teeth. Like,
I know.
The reason you see a lot of limbless employees in that documentary, I found out, is, when they would do the Walmart thing and they'd feed them, there was a lot of times where they didn't have money to feed the animals, and they were so fucking hungry that they would attack and eat parts of people or the employees just to like remain sustenance.
What?
I
know that chick got her arm eaten off, but I thought that other dude, his legs were going from a ziplining accident.
Yeah, but I'm just like that lady. They say the trans lady.
Yeah.
The whole reason that would have never happened had the animals been fed correctly, like fed normally. So I think that's pretty terrifying.
That is pretty terrible, and the fact that she still kind of defended Joe.
Yeah, it's weird. There's people that were still like in love with him after the fact. Like they it's almost cult-like, which is weird.
It is.
Here's one I thought was funny. People were calling him out on the internet about wearing uniforms and EMT cop and minister and shit. Believe it or not, it's somewhat factual. Joe Exotic was an EMT before he was a cop in his early 20s.
A cop?
Yeah,
he was a cop.
Yes. Can you fucking imagine? Up against the wall and spread them.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
No, I can't imagine.
He also became an adored minister just for the sole purpose of doing weddings at his park to make more money, of course.
Right, of course.
And to draw more attention to Joe Exotic.
Right.
One of the funniest parts I thought of this was whenever they sprayed his fucking shoes with cologne.
Yes.
And he's attacking him. And that was actually perfume they sprayed too. I found it. He never wore anything because it roused the cats up, obviously. Yeah. And it's funny, if you ask anybody what Joe Exotic smells like, unanimously people say he smelled like sweat and cigarettes. So if you ever wondered what that sexy beast fucking smelled like.
Oh, that sexy beast.
You're welcome. Oh, calm yourself for next time. Here was an open question I thought at the end watching this. I'm like, whatever happened to the animals at the zoo with not only Joe, but that Jeff dude, the shady Jeff dude?
Yeah.
Here I found out they sold most of them. Joe donated a lot of them to PETA before he even before he got arrested.
Oh, wow.
The rest are still at the old zoo, which is still fucking open, by the way.
Are you serious? In Oklahoma?
Yeah, it's still open.
Well, who's running that?
I don't know. That's a good question, too. That's why I'd like to have his cat in the show. We
Yeah.
can see what happens. But
My
can you
goodness.
believe that fucking
Yeah.
place is still open?
No. Oh, that's wild.
Another creepy thing, that Carol lady and her husband.
Ugh.
I honestly think she killed her fucking husband.
You think so? See, I don't know. I'm on the fence.
Here's the thing.
See, I'm sympathetic to Carol. Yes, she's a freaking wacko.
See, I don't have any sympathy there.
I know a lot of people don't.
She was poking the bear the whole time, so
Well,
like,
true.
you can't like fuck with somebody your whole life and
Right.
not expect somebody to react.
Oh, I agree. I
mean,
think she's kind of an asshole.
she was definitely baiting him for sure.
But
I mean,
yeah, but I also don't know. I mean, her husband was like cheating on her, and not that that gives a reason to throw him to a tiger, but I think that he was like running some shady operation because he kept wanting to go to Costa Rica with a bunch of cars, and I mean,
well, they
again,
had said that
could
she
be
was a
just
sex worker too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this guy actually tried to bring up to her, and she denied it, but you could tell by her demeanor it's true. But here's the thing: the police feel the same way I do. If you're wondering about the investigation about her husband, that case is still also not closed.
Nice. Wow. Can you imagine if they found... Well, they'd never find a body, which is pretty genius, I guess, if you know...
I'm sure it's in the guts and shit out of some tiger
Yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, there's a meme. The last known picture of Carol's husband, and it's a tiger with pow poop behind it.
Well, this was the most shocking thing in the whole fucking show for me.
Okay.
Whenever Travis shot himself and they caught it on tape in front of the dude, I had actually thought watching it that he did it on purpose.
He didn't. It was.
I didn't know that it was an accident.
Yeah.
It was. He thought the gun wouldn't fire if he dropped the clip out, and sadly, it still fires when you drop the clip out.
I forgot about that, but I remembered that.
See, the way it looked in the documentary to me, it was like he was sick of Joe's shit.
Right. Yeah, they did make it look like that he was just like he'd had enough.
And he just was so depressed and he wanted out and he just bam.
Yeah.
But like, that's not what happened at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wonder if people felt the
Realize
same
that
way
was an accident.
that I did, because it didn't look like, for me, I mean, you know, because you listen to the podcast. For me, it didn't look that way at all. Like, they have it set up so it looks like he's just like, I'm out of here, you know, like, yeah, I thought that was, I thought that was noteworthy to bring up.
Definitely.
Let's see here. Oh, how many husbands did Joe Exotic have total? Can you tell me?
I can tell you, he had 4.
Wrong. He had 5.
Whoa! What?
He had Brian, he had John, he had
Brian?
Travis.
Who's Brian?
He had Brian, he had John, he had Travis, and he had Dylan. But there was another guy, a juggalo.
Oh, Lord.
Who,
Of
and then
course.
he actually...
That's what these people look
he
like.
went...
That makes so much sense.
He went confidently to this dude and told him he lived with Joe and John, but he doesn't want his name brought up.
Oh, really?
He gave him a ring the day that they met and said, we're married. So that's 5 right there. So,
Wow.
so I don't know how he... I mean, you know, it's funny. I was reading Twitters, and I'm like, there's chicks that's like, I can't even find a dude, and I'm a good person, and Joe Exotic's like got 5 fucking dudes, you know? Like, what the fuck's the matter with me? So, I mean...
Does make you wonder.
It's kind of sad, man.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another thing. Like, Joe always went around with this weird fucking cerebral palsy cane and
yeah,
shit.
Does he have like Tourette's or something?
He did not.
Really?
And he had no medical issues whatsoever.
I noticed he had a tick, and I wondered if he had Tourette's.
Guess what now? Guess what it was all for? He did that to elicit sympathy from the public. There was not a fucking thing wrong with him.
See? Narcissism.
So there you go.
At its finest.
Hey, I'll give you one more, Cats, and I mean, hopefully it encourage you enough to go, and you got to check this out. Man, it's a wormhole. Like, you could get lost in this thing for sure.
For sure.
The last one, here's a good side, a happy ending. No, there really is. John Finley, the dude with the no choppers.
Yes.
Dude turned his life around. He got a new set of choppers. He got a new job. He's welding now. He's actually got everything back on track, and he's
Still with that chick?
Yeah, he's got a chick. They're going to get married, and he has some PTSD, he said, still, but he's actually doing a good job of becoming a normal person.
Good.
So,
I mean, I liked him. I thought he was...
I did too. I think he just was kind of...
nice guy. He got stuck in the
it was...
wrong
what do you call that? And it's like a victim of circumstance, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, that's it. I just thought those were interesting. If you were sucked into that stuff like we were, I thought there was some interesting trivia you might enjoy, Kat. So,
for sure.
Moving right along, I just want to take a few seconds, and it just really upsets me to even bring it up. Growing up, you know how much I'm into the horror genre. I worship these directors as, they're like gods to me on pedestals. And growing up, I always had an affinity for Stuart Gordon. I loved all his movies. I mean, first time I seen Reanimator was groundbreaking part in my history growing up as a fan of the genre. And from there, he did so many other good things. I just want to say rest in peace, Stuart Gordon. He'll definitely be missed from me and the rest of the community. We just want to say thank you for all the films, and you were just a great dude. And we're dropping like flies, man. There ain't too many. All the greats are gone, so they're going. So somebody bubble wrap Dario Argento, and let's kind of try to keep him on. But yeah, rest in peace, Stuart Gordon. I'll miss you, and we will miss you. So it's my send off on the Balls from Ellwood show to you, sir. I got a couple other quick things to talk about, and then we're going to get to this woman's Depravity Corner, which I'm looking forward to. It's supposed to be a doozy this week, so. Yeah. But anyway, Balls got with all this time off, I'm trying to find stuff to occupy my time. I got to watch 3 movies. Me and her watched a movie, The Room. Not the Tommy Wiseau one that you're thinking about. Your dad in me apart, Lisa. Not that one. That's definitely in my roster of my favorite bad movies. I can watch that shit 24 hours a day. I love it. No, this one's actually a Shudder original. Xtina and I watched it. In fact, even the kiddo got engrossed in it. I thought it was a really cool concept. It's about this, newly married couple.
Yeah.
They kind of buy this place out in the middle of nowhere to kind of get away from it all.
Right.
And they discover a room, but there's a secret room. Not to give too much away, but whatever you do in the secret room, any wish or desire,
it shows up.
You get it.
Yeah.
And there's, as always,
right? Yeah.
Sounds great, but wackiness ensues. But I tell you what, I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
Really cool premise.
It was.
In fact, like, even if you watch the trailer, you think it's going to be this, but then it ends up being this, this, and this, and this, and you're like, whoa. So I got to say, it's probably one of the most
unique,
inventive, like you said, unique things I've seen this year. Shudder's knocking them out the park with these fucking originals, man. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. And, I got to say, keep them coming, man, because it's definitely worth it. I got it for Joe Bob, of course, but I got to say, I'm not disappointed at all because they're always putting on they always put on great content. Next month they have this awesome 5-part series, and it's about cursed film. Ooh. So I'll definitely be in that. They're going to look into Poltergeist, because there was all kind. You could write a book on the crazy shit that went on during The Exorcist, Twilight Zone, the movie. As you know, Vic Morrow got decapitated with the 2 kids on that film.
Yeah.
And there's a couple more I can't remember, but it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Shudder, kudos to you. I wish you would sponsor our show. We love you so much, but I get it. I'll still continue to plug you because I love you.
That's right.
Anywho, let's move on to another film I thought was equally amazing. You missed this one, and I really wish you would have caught it because I really think you would have loved it. I love films where like there's the triumph of the will, like where there's somebody that's like they're good people. They got a humongous spirit, and they just get beat on, and then they never give up. They always come back, and then they just persevere. Yeah. I love that shit. Rocky, shit like that.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, it's human, like the human nature of not giving up. You have an iron will, and you won't let people fucking, change you or beat you down, or you won't give up. You won't bend to their will. I love that shit. This fucking movie was great, man. It went right under my radar. I don't know how I missed it. I love, Danny Trejo. It's good. And this kid, I gotta look at. He used to be on like a TV show, like a kid show, and he was a really good actor. I gotta say, even the guy that was the whole premise of the show is there's this fat kid, which I could totally relate to, and he's growing up and he's getting bullied and he's getting the shit beat out of him every day from these asshole bullies at school, and he has two like meeker friends, and they're beating the fuck out of his friends. They're making his whole school career terrible. Like, it really hit home with me, man. It should have just been called Balls, the movie. Yeah. And he's getting the fuck beat out of him every day from school, and he can't do anything about it because they're like a whole group, and he's one person, and his friends are way weaker than him. So finally, he's getting the shit beat out of him in this guy's yard, and it just so happens it's this old famous boxer And the boxer comes out, his name's Action, and he comes out and he's like, hey man, why don't you learn to defend yourself? And he's like, I can't. So this dude's like, you can. And he's like, I can't. I'm fat. I'm this. I'm that. Making up 100 excuses. So he's like, you can. And he's like, well, can you show me? And he's like, I can't because I'm an old motherfucker now. But he goes, I have somebody who can help you. So then in turn, he takes him to Danny Trio.
Nice.
He's the boxing instructor. They teach him how to defend himself. And his whole world changes. And it's just like such a feel-good fucking movie.
Yeah, it sounds great.
And it's just really, really good. I can't believe how it got away from me. But I have to say, Bully. It was from a couple years ago. Check it out. It was one of my favorite movies. In fact, I loved it so much. It's probably one of my favorite movies of all time now.
Wow.
It's just
all right.
Man, I at the end I was just like, oh, it gave me that feeling like I get out of a Rocky movie or something, you know? Like I was just like, fuck, man.
All right.
One more thing I'm pissed off about: all these movies getting canceled, pushed back. They better not fuck with Ghostbusters because I'll be in the mental institution. I will too.
You really will.
They just pushed the new Saw Spiral back too, and it's not even doesn't even have a date now. They just fucking threw it completely off of the board. So
I hate that.
That pissed me off. So
yeah, that sucks.
I'm done bitching. Let's move on.
All right.
Hey now, cats. We're back again, and it's now time for everybody's favorite part of the show. You know her, you love her. It's Xtina in the Depravity Corner.
All right. Hey, balls. How you doing today?
I'm great.
Good. Well, I have a story that'll, just break your heart. So, isn't that great?
Great.
Let me ruin that mood. Let me just take it here to the next level. So, I'm sure a lot of you by now, if you follow like any sort of missing children cases, probably heard about this kid out of Colorado named Gannon Stotch. It's a weird kind of name, but Gannon Stotch, this little boy, 11 years old, out of Colorado. And so he went missing, I want to say, like the end of January. Yeah, January 27th, he went missing. And he was, his stepmom called and reported him missing. And she was very upset. She said that he had told her he was going to a friend's house. And they called said friend and they said, no, he was never here. So they were just like, oh crap, did he run away? I mean, I guess, maybe there was some turmoil in the house. I don't know. But so everybody's speculating, what happened to this kid? He's 11 years old. Where could he have gone? And his mom lives in South Carolina, so if you know geography, Colorado and South Carolina are very far away. So it's not like he could just go over to mom's house and visit. I mean, it's many thousands of miles away. So, it went on for weeks, and then they finally started doing like active searches. They had dogs, they had drones searching for this poor boy. The stepmom's on the news. She's, giving interviews. And then the neighbor comes forward with a security camera footage and shows him and the stepmom getting in the truck together at 11 o'clock that morning. And then her coming back later that day in the afternoon.
Without the kid. So then people are like, well, that's weird. Because, she said that he went to a friend's house. And, I mean, and maybe he did. Maybe there was another point in the day where, he came back or whatever. Who knows? Or maybe I don't know. It was just very weird. And she was being interviewed. And here, I mean, the whole public started kind of, honing in on her. And they were like, she did it. I know she did it. Blah, blah, blah. So there became, this whole Facebook group about how this woman did this. And she actually joined the group herself. This is the first time I've been, involved in watching a, case unfold before my very eyes. And, seeing the, person who people are blaming, come into the group and, defend themselves. And she was very vicious and, very defensive. And, I mean, in my opinion, if you're, that defensive, I guess it's either because you're A, guilty, or B, you are very distraught. If your stepson went missing. But all this stuff started coming out about how she, would beat him and how she hated him because he took away from her time with her daughter. And,
Yada, yada, yada. So they're painting this crazy picture, and still no sign of any body or anything, still missing. But somehow the police decide to arrest her and charge her with first-degree murder. So that's pretty tough. Like, you have, no body and no real evidence, but they charged her with murder. So they had something. So here, they arrest her. They can't get her to say anything, but oddly enough, so they're searching for this body. Several weeks go by, somebody reports a body on the side of a road in a suitcase in Florida. Now, this is like 2,500 miles away from Colorado. And they think it's this boy. And sure enough, they do an autopsy. Turns out it's him. So they come to find out she had a rental car. And in this rental car, she had put over 1,000 miles on the rental car. But that doesn't explain the other 1,000 some miles that it would take for her to get to Florida. So there's thoughts that, and nobody knows yet, but there's thoughts that maybe she met somebody halfway or what have you, but she obviously had to have killed the kid the day that he went missing, and I guess somehow stuffed him into this suitcase. I know. Like, how do you do that? And then she apparently drove with this body for thousands of miles across the country. And this is your stepmother. Like, how evil can you be? Like, I just don't understand it. And, I mean, it's just so crazy. So, I guess it was just because, and there was real no good motive. I mean, not that there's ever a good motive, but, like, she had a decent marriage from what I understand. I mean, they got along with the mother. They had custody of this kid. I don't know. She just wanted him out of the way because I guess she wanted all the attention, is what I assume. But I'm sure it's going to come out in the weeks and months to come that, maybe how the hell did he get to Florida? And, where were the other, maybe she turned in a rental car and got another rental car. Nobody really knows. It's so bizarre, but it's so wild that she went through all this trouble. That's my other thing. Like, how do people go through, it's so much work to kill a person and hide their body. Like, I don't have that much, like, energy. It just seems like so much work. My God. So anyway, I don't know. It's very sad. And here's even the saddest thing. So the dad, he, the very day that after she got arrested, he immediately filed for divorce and has like an 8-page documentation on, why he deserves a divorce from this woman, which, great. Hopefully he'll get it quicker than, sooner than later. But this little boy, Gannon, he was born a preemie. He was like 1 pound 7 ounces, and he like was in the NICU for like 90 days or something like that. I mean, he was like a little fighter kid, so he was like a miracle baby. And then this happens. It just gives me goosebumps. But I don't know. I mean, I hope this woman rots in hell, and surely she will. She's just a miserable, evil person, and I pray for all the family. I mean, the mom and the dad seem pretty normal. I don't know how he picked up this crazy hot mess, but he somehow did. I don't know. Be careful out there, guys. I know everybody always tells women to be careful, but men be careful too, because there's a lot of crazy bitches. So, and Balls would know. When I'm the most sane bitch he's ever dated, that's saying a lot. So anyway, I digress. I thought you'd like that. So here we are. But everyone, say a little, say a little prayer for our buddy Gannon. We'll put up a little. So I think there's a GoFundMe for his family too. I'll see what I can do about that. But just so, like, how selfish do you have to be?
Yeah, I'm nauseous about it. It's not even my kid.
That's why I told
this lady's probably sitting in jail, like smoking a cigarette. Like, man, whatever.
She don't care. Wait till you see her picture. You want to see it?
I'll put it up.
Yeah, we'll put it up.
I'll put up a link to the GoFundMe. I'll put up a link to this wildebeest.
She's just a horrible. Yeah, she's a wildebeest for sure. And I don't know. Just stay safe out there, people. Watch who you're getting around with. I mean, ask yourself before you get involved in a serious relationship. Do I think this person will kill my child? And if the answer is, yeah, run.
Yeah, if it's anything other than no,
Yeah, run.
head for the hills.
Right, exactly. And on that note, that is your Depravity Corner for this week.
Well, you were right. That was definitely a
It's a sad
doozy.
one,
So,
yeah.
one more business we have to take care of before we get into my fabulously short cow gas interview. It's funny. I know you cats are excited about it, and everyone on the internet that was actually surprisingly pretty excited to see this. I hope it's not disappointing. It's very short. When you see it, you'll know why. But I feel like I need to do the lead up to it, and there is kind of an explanation as to why. When I had first got in touch with Mr. Gas, KG, one half of the D, he had agreed to do my interview. He was doing a little, like Xtina said on her thing earlier, he was doing a little solo thing with the Cow Glass project. So I'm like, oh, that's a good, it'd be easy to go and, give him a little interview afterwards. And it actually was. But, the show starts. He said, see me after the show. And after the show, and then he's like, hey, man, you got any weed? And I was like, I do not. But I could try to find you some. Yeah, that'd be great. Find me some weed, and then we'll go do that interview. So I'm tooling around the place. Nobody has weed. So I'm like,
which is
fuck.
shocking. But
Which is weird. Any other time, any other time I could ask anybody, be like, oh, here you go.
Yeah.
The time I need it, nobody has it.
Right.
So I'm disgusted. I'm like, fuck, man. Now he's going to be in a bad mood. He's not going to do this interview. He's going to tell me to fuck off. So I go outside, and he's smoking. He must have found a group of kids that had weed.
He's in this alleyway.
He's like an alleyway, like crunched up inside a certain bar. And so I get down there, and he's like, hey, he goes, get into this, man. Come on. And I'm like, no, I don't want to look like a pussy. So I don't want to, this will be a story to tell the ages, too. I'm like, I'm not going to deny smoking weed with cow gas. I mean, that's kind of a hell of a story. So I haven't smoked in a while. I've been pretty good, since I've been trying to work on things. And I'm like, what? I haven't smoked weed in a long time. The fuck? Let's do it. So I don't know where this weed came from. I think it was from another planet. It was definitely laced with something majorly not weed. I smoked this. I was so fucking blitzed, after the fact. I could barely even stand. I couldn't feel my face, my anything. I felt like I needed somebody to put a tomato steak up me. I'm just kind of propped, until we did it. I'm propped against the window trying to get my composure. And he's pretty fucked up too, I have to say. And I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm doing this interview. Do or die, So he's like, all right, I'm ready. After we're completely so fucking blitzed, neither one of us can barely even talk. So we did the interview. I thought it was very strange that I brought up a sex question at the end, and he was like, okay, well, we're done. Short interview, it's over, Thought that was very weird considering the majority of the material was sexually motivated.
Yeah.
A little strange air. But hey, you know
Could
what?
have been the drugs.
I think it was the drugs, man, because let me tell you why. Come home, not feeling good.
Oh, no.
Projectile vomited, just made it in the door. Projectile vomited probably 15 feet from the door to the toilet, and nothing went in the toilet. I spent the good majority of the night cleaning up my puke for that story and for this little shitty interview. So hopefully it was worth it, cats. Was it worth it? You be the judge. We'll find out.
Right now.
Check it out. Hey now, cats, we're back again this week, and with me I have somebody that I've admired for a very long time. This is one half of the D. You'll know him from the Cow Gas Company project where we've seen tonight. Trainwreck, many things. This is my buddy KG. How you doing, buddy?
Really good, really good.
I just want to say it was an excellent show tonight. You guys at home need to check out the Cow Gas Company project. Get their music, go on the old internetaroo and check it out. But other than that, I just want to ask you, man, I know you came from California. Were you always musical growing up?
I was. I started playing flute when I was around 8, and then pick up the guitar around 11, and yeah, off we went.
I mean, was your family supportive? Was this something that you knew you wanted to do from a very young age?
Yeah, my mom was a frustrated musician, so she encouraged my brothers and me to play music, and yeah. But I really was, I was as interested in acting as I was in music, so it was kind of a dual track.
Now tell me this: whenever you're, I'm assuming you write all the music for the Cow Gas music, correct?
Well, it's a group effort with my buddy, with the guys in the band, John, and yeah, it's a collaborative.
Now, can you tell me how that's different from, say, when you're going to make a record with Tenacious D?
Well, it's not too much different. You have to start from nothing and come up with some new jams. It's a lot of jamming, and then you just kind of synthesize from there.
Well, okay, tell me this, sir. I've always wanted to ask you, what kind of movies are you into? Do you like horror films?
Yeah, it's not my favorite genre, but did you see a horror film I did last year?
What was it called?
It's called Apartment 212.
I did not. I'll definitely have to check it out.
Check it out. I actually, it's a fun little movie. I think you're gonna like it.
Check it out,
Apartment
guys.
212.
Apartment 212.
Yeah, you can find it somewhere streaming.
What exactly was your worst gig you've ever played? And can you tell me where the best place you ever played was?
I think the best place, best crowd ever was Paris with the Tenacious D. And then the worst gig was a Miller Genuine Draft blind date, they called it. We had to play for, they flew in a bunch of drunks from around the country who didn't know who we were. It was a little early, and then we got booed off the stage.
Can you tell me, being in a band, being musical, doing the thing that you do, is that detrimental to having any kind of like real friendships, real relationships? Is it hard to maintain that?
Oh, no, quite the contrary.
Oh, really? Because a
I
lot of
think you
people
get a lot
say
of
it is.
opportunities to meet people, and you know, people are attracted to the entertainment. So yeah.
What's the best gift anybody's ever given you?
The best gift anyone's ever given me. Jack gave me this giant Ted doll. He knew I was a fan of Ted, and he gave it to his. This is a great gift. It's really weird, but I still have it. No.
Okay.
I know.
Make it stock, I'm sure.
If you could pick somebody to play you in a biopic, say they did a biopic about the D, like who would you want to pick to be you? Like what actor do you think would be suited?
Wow, that's a good question. I'm gonna go, even though he's passed away, I want to say Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, he's got the body type, and he's got the gravitas.
Well, I want to ask you a couple wacky ones here, so if you don't take offense. Do you have, I asked everybody this on my show, and they either say I don't want to talk about it, or they'll tell me a really, really great story. Do you have a good shit your pants story? Have you ever shit your pants? So I'm doing it right now.
Well, I have a story, not about that, but I really had to, I was walking back to my hotel after a gig, and I really, really had to take a whiz. And I'm like, oh man, I don't think I'm going to make it. And it just came on all of a sudden. I don't think I'm going to make it. I've got to get back to my room. And then I was like, oh God, I'm not going to make it. And then I was going through the hallway in the hotel. And then the ice room. I had to drop into the ice room. I didn't pee in the ice, but I peed by the machine. It was
Good
great.
show.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
It's my first time ever seeing you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Woo!
Right on.
Very good show. Actually, I want to ask you too, what is the weirdest porno you've ever seen?
Oh, I don't know. Now we're getting into some weird shit. That was, you said short interview. I think that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. We went down a dark alley.